Hi, my name is Thais Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I want to discuss with you why it can be so difficult for dismissive avoidant attachment styles to establish intimacy in relationships. Hi, I just wanted to jump in here really quickly and let you know that we are doing one of our most exciting promotions that we do during the entire year. And it is our lifetime promotional sale. So basically the lifetime membership to the Personal Development School gives you access to all of the 55 plus courses we've ever recorded. And I record a new course and create new content every single month, and it will give you access to all future courses. It also gives you access to all of the daily community events we have, group shares, social events, guided meditations, guided morning and evening routines, communication scripts practice for communicating through challenging situations, and the 4 live webinars that I do with our students every single week. So at any point when you have a question, you're able to jump in there, ask me a question, and we have a history of webinars on a whole bunch of different topics. So it's basically endless content. And the really nice thing about the lifetime promotion is not only do you get to continuously learn for life, so that gives you the safety and comfort of knowing that you can rely on anything that you need in terms of going through a challenging situation, be it a breakup, be it a really rocky time in your romantic relationship with somebody. If you're looking to work on boundaries, some sort of change in the workplace, we've got courses for that as well. So there's all these resources at your fingertips for life, and that promotion is going on right now. You can click the link below for almost 50% off, and I would love to see you on the other side. Come join me in the webinars, come ask me questions. And thank you for watching this. And I'm specifically discussing like emotional intimacy, closeness, connection, and what's really going on. And I'm going to really simplify this in like a few key steps and also give some tools for how to transform out of this dynamic if you find yourself in this as a dismissive avoidant attachment style yourself. So the first thing you need to know is that there are specific features that really comprise emotional intimacy in relationships. 2 of the top features that are huge contributors to actually developing deep emotional intimacy, like a true bond, a true connection, are number 1, the ability to be present, and number 2, the ability to be vulnerable. Now, if you look closely, what you'll see is that dismissive avoidants usually weren't given much presence in their upbringing or childhood. So there was really a lack of presence modeled to them. And this means that they haven't really ever built the cornerstones of connection based off of presence. That hasn't been a part of like their attachment style or attaching process with other individuals. So like their subconscious rules for how to relate to other people do not really involve presence because that's not part of their conditioning. The other thing is vulnerability. And not only is there a lack of vulnerability obviously modeled to them, but generally dismissive avoidants have been imprinted with a few core beliefs about vulnerability as a whole. One belief is that vulnerability will make me weak. Another belief is vulnerability will make me shameful or defective. And another belief is that vulnerability will make me helpless. It will make me feel like I'm helpless or powerless to another person. And this is because, again, this is the way that attaching was in childhood. It was this idea or concept that like, you know, when you're a child and you want that attunement from your caregiver because we're wired for it, you want that connection, you want that closeness, and it's not being given to you, you feel helpless to be able to get your needs met when you're being emotionally neglected. And so as a result, you have all of these beliefs that are imprinted and literally conditioned into the subconscious mind. Now, these things are reconditionable, right? I just made a word up, but just because you have those beliefs, like you weren't born with those were conditioned into you. And a huge part of conditioning means repetition plus emotion. Whatever is, condition, whatever is like repeated over time and elicits an emotional response is what creates these conditioned patterns, or in other words, sort of fires and wires these neural networks. And so what has to take place is a new set of ideas and experiences that oppose these original neural pathways. And another thing that's interesting to note is that neural pathways atrophy over time, just like muscles. So if we're no longer investing in this idea that vulnerability makes us weak, makes us powerless, these sorts of things, then when we pull out of investing in there or firing and wiring that network over and over again, then eventually we sort of lose that idea a little bit over time. And if we instead ingrain new patterns, new ideas, new ways of thinking and feeling about relationships in our environment, this is where we actually can recondition. So not only does this old neural network die out, but a new neural network actually has the ability to form through more repetition and emotion of a new story or narrative. So an example of this would be like using a reframe and then putting tons of emotion and evidence behind this across time. I have a whole course on this, by the way, like all about reconditioning the subconscious mind. There's two. One course is really oriented towards helping you find your individual conditioned patterns and really helping you dig up all these different like insights into what your conditioned patterns are. That's called the Emotional Mastery and Belief Reprogramming course. And that will help you really source all the different limiting beliefs and fears and pain points that you have, and then use reconditioning tools. And another course, you can check these out both for free for 7 days, by the way. Another course you can check out is 21 Ways to Reprogram the Subconscious Mind, that has all these different tools. You can pick and choose your favorite ones if you already know what like belief patterns you want to get rid of, what painful coping mechanisms you want to reprogram, so that you can just learn all the different tools and then plug them in there. But if you use that link below, you can actually get access to both those courses for free for 7 days. It comes with like the all access pass. You can check out all the different courses in there. And they're all like 2 hours each. Like they're designed to be able to like get you through the courses and to be able to enjoy the experience. So anyways, going back to this for a moment. So dismissive avoidance, when we start creating these new reframes around these old beliefs, right? So I am shameful if I am weak. I'm defective if I am weak. How about like I am accepted, or sorry, if I am vulnerable, not if I am weak. I am weak if I am vulnerable. I am shameful if I am vulnerable. I am defective if I am vulnerable. If we are to try to reframe each of those statements and look for evidence, you'll see that it's there. I mean, like, how is it strong to be vulnerable? Well, it's friggin' courageous in today's world. Like, it's not easy. It takes tremendous courage to open ourselves up, to put ourselves out there. If you look at why is it, acceptable to be vulnerable? Because that's what the building blocks of intimacy are made of. That's how true connection and bonding happens in our world. That's how we can actually learn to trust people and allow people to earn our trust over time. Like there's so much beauty in vulnerability, but if we have these preconceived notions and ideas because of painful experiences that have been conditioned into us in our childhood, these things act as like these giant barriers around us that make connection so much less fulfilling for a person's whole life. And that's part of why DAs are so used to getting their needs met from like hobbies or television or creature comforts or toys or like whatever it is, like these like external things, obviously in childhood, but then all the way up into our adult lives. Like for adults, sometimes it's like, DAs can be obsessed with like their boat that they have or their car or, these dynamics. Like so much of where this comes from is because if your way of connecting and bonding to people is almost without any form of deep vulnerability, deep connection, true presence, true attachment and closeness, it's flat. And so it doesn't make human connection, especially when it's human connections complicated in other ways, that much more appealing than connecting to a hobby all the time and that being your main source of focus, or connecting to work, or connecting to, your car that you want to polish every Sunday, right? Like it's these dynamics are how people get their needs met when their relationship to relationships is nowhere near as fulfilling as they could be because we've got all these walls up. So these sort of themes kind of coalesce and tie together. And I hope that makes sense. But reprogramming these things and then learning to have like a more intimate connection with people, it doesn't have to be like this instantaneous thing. It can be something that happens slowly across time, but it's going to be also one of the most rewarding lessons that a dismissive avoidant gets to go through. So anyways, I hope this makes sense. If you are the partner of a dismissive avoidant and you are watching this because you're curious about them, good video to show to them would help explain some things. And yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you visit here lots and haven't. I would so appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.